Hi everyone, this is Alexandra Davis and this is my video presentation for metacognition. I am going to kind of briefly explain what the chapter said about it. So overall, to keep it short and sweet, metacognition is broken up into two different categories. So that is megacognitive knowledge and megacognitive activity. So overall, in the knowledge base, it's about reflecting on one's current or recent thoughts. So metacognition in the knowledge sense is just thinking about your thinking, which sounds very complicated, but it's not too complicated. So it also includes factual knowledge and strategic knowledge. This can include all things about one's own self, your self-recognition, your own goals, and then about strategic knowledge, which comes into the actual skills that it takes to think and to solve words as well. So then you have the megacognitive activity. So this is basically putting the megacognitive knowledge into play, and students and children have to adapt and manage their own thinking and problem-solving skills. The main thing that metacognition talks about in this chapter is about how children problem solve and how that helps them think about what they're thinking about. Most importantly, children understand the mind more and more the older they get. So, starting at a very young age, going all the way up to adolescence, do children understand that they have desires, they have emotions, they have different perceptions and beliefs, and many more. They understand that their decisions can affect a bunch of things, their emotions can affect things, the same as their desires and their beliefs. So their mind, they understand, is a very complex tool. It starts out small and then it just grows bigger and bigger the older they get. It is known that to help children become better problem solvers and critical thinkers, the more that they reflect on the metacognition. In order for children to become critical thinkers and to better problem solve, it's starting at a young age is very beneficial. This can start in school. It doesn't have to be at home if it's too late there. One of the main things, probably the most biggest takeaway here, is that children have to become problem solvers. And in order to do that, teachers need to start putting that in place right away as soon as they walk into the classroom. This will then help them become critical thinkers, better critical thinkers. Some different ways that teachers can monitor metacognition is create a bunch of assessments and also monitor. These are really two big things. In order for teachers to understand how a child thinks, they need to do a bunch of assessments. So assessing the students in the classroom, whether formally or informally, can be a very good thing. And this is your way to understand, oh, what does my student understand? What does my student struggle with? And you can try to break down those misconceptions that the students are experiencing. And when you understand how they think, you can help them better change their mindset or keep them on the right path. It's important to also monitor when you're doing these assessments. It's one thing to look at these assessments if it's definitely if it's a formal one to get them, and when you start to grade it or look at it, you may not know exactly why the child made this error. But if you were monitoring and practicing the entire time, you may be able to see what the students are looking at and how their pencil's moving, how they're writing it down, what steps they did first, and you could better help understand, oh, they looked at this problem wrong, they did this step wrong, they did this. So basically, the most important takeaway is to understand how a child thinks first. And lastly, the big one is students will think they will do better on a test if they actually think they understand the material. So again, we know if we go as an adult and show up to a test, even with me taking my licensing exams, if I don't study or if I don't think I know the material, I'm going to walk into that exam not understanding it. So it's better this way if we help the students solve, and we definitely do it with problem solving. Thank you.